Okay, we're live. So if you missed it, yesterday Alex Ovechkin supposedly got injured, and I can't say whether it's a fake injury or not. I mean, watching it, I didn't watch the game live, but watching the highlights of it, I mean, I could see how he could have gotten injured on the play. Whether the injury was scripted or not, I think we'll have to wait and see how long he's out, and then we'll know if it's by the numbers or not. But anyways, because Ovechkin is off to such a hot start this season, I was trying to figure out if Ovechkin does break Gretzky's goal record this season, when will it be? So just to show you here, let's see. Gretzky goal record. Gretzky has 894 all time. And currently has 868 all time. So he needs 26, 28 more. No, 27 more. 26 to tie, 27 to break it. Yeah, he needs 895. So he needs to get 27 more goals. Now, as I said, he did get injured last night. I mean, they say he's out week to week. So we'll see how long he's out for. But he scored 15 goals, or I should say, the script has had him score 15 goals in 18 games, which is a pretty remarkable pace. I mean, that's almost a goal per game. That's like what he was doing his rookie year and stuff. But I wanted to figure out, so he needs to score 28 goals to, is that right? No, 27 goals to break it, 26 to tie. And let's just say, for example, he's out for 2 weeks. So today's the 19th. So you can see in the bottom of my screen there, today's the 19th. If he's out for 2 weeks, he'll be back early December. So say he comes back probably maybe around the time of this Montreal game. That would be how long? So that's a little bit over 2 weeks, I think. That's like a little over 2 weeks. So say he comes back for that Montreal game. So 27 games played, and then I'll talk about why in just a minute, but I'm focusing my attention in this time period. So if he misses, how many games is he going to miss? He's probably going to miss like 7 games, 8 games. If he misses 8 games, then around this time period would be about his 61st. No, sorry, like 59th, 58th, 57th, so high 50s. And well, let's go back to Ovechkin here. So so say that would be like 30, no, sorry, 40, like 40 games. If he scores 26 goals in 40 games, I mean, that's very likely, I would say. So something to keep note of. He came into this season with 868 minus 15, so that's 853 goals. That means he needs 41 goals. That means if he ties Gretzky's record this season, he'll get his 41st goal of the year. If he breaks Gretzky's record, he'll get his 42nd goal of the year. And Ovechkin is 42. And if there's a few different numbers that can describe Ovechkin's career, but if I had to pick one number to sum up Ovechkin's career, it would be the number 41. And that's because he was born on the 17th of September, and that's written 17/9. 179 is the 41st prime. He won his only Stanley Cup, 4 games to 1, and also USA is 41. There's probably another 41 too that I can't think of right now with Ovechkin, but the main thing being that it was 41. His only Stanley Cup victory is 4 games to 1. He was born on 17/9, 41st prime. And of course, that is Constitution Day, but that's another topic for another time. Okay, and I've already talked about that. Anyways, there's a reason why I want to look at this time period. Let's look at March 15th against the San Jose Sharks. From his birthday until then is 179 days. And Also, another thing that Mr. Ovechkin empty net goal record. So there was yes, okay. Ovechkin tops Gretzky for most empty net goals. That was on the 41st day of the year. That was on February 10th, the 41st day of the year. So it would make a lot of sense for if this happened on the 41st day of the year. He was born on 17/9. He won his only Stanley Cup 4-1. It would make a lot of sense for Ovechkin to have his record-breaking goal have 41 involved somehow. And the Sharks are a good candidate for that because Sharks equals 41. Now, that is something that I'll talk about this in a second. Sharks is 41, and that is on, what, 3/15. That is the 74th day of the year. DC is 47, but is it Freemason? No, Freemason. Shoot, I can't remember which one's. No, the Freemason. It's set at 47 degrees. That's what it is. Sorry, my bad. I was blaming. Freemason's also 42. Like Ovechkin, if he breaks the record, he'll score 42 goals. It'll be on his 42nd goal this year. Okay. Now the second date that I want to look at is 3/22. Obviously, that's the number of Skull and Bones against the Florida Panthers, and that is interesting because so not only is it so. Actually, let me just go back here. So this is 179 days after his birthday, but it's also a span of 187 days before his next birthday. We know the Society of Jesus. Society of Jesus, 187 right there. Ovechkin's only Stanley Cup came 263 days after his birthday, which is the 56th prime. Okay, but anyways, this next date, March 22nd, or 3/22, Skull and Bones, is 179 days until his next birthday. Okay, Skull and Bones, 41. And, 179, the 41st prime. And that also has, like, the kind of the mirror properties of the previous, of a week prior. So this is 179 days until his next birthday, span of 187 days after his birthday, while the game on March 15th is a span of 187 days until his next birthday and 179 days after his birthday. And this one's interesting because it has 34 date numerology. I remember in Ovechkin's only Stanley Cup final, there were 34 combined goals scored. He shares the same birthday as Mahomes. It was Constitution Day, and the Constitution became effective on 3/4. And I think there's one more thing that I can't remember with 34. When Mahomes won his first Super Bowl, Ovechkin was 34 years old. And if it's not any of those two dates, I'd also look at April 1st. That is 4/1, and that is against Boston. And that is the team that Ovechkin broke his empty net goal, or Ovechkin broke Gretzky's empty net goal record against. And that was on the 41st day of the year. Well, it was earlier this calendar year, last season. And in regards to that game on the 22nd against Florida, shoot, I can't remember what it was now. There's definitely some, I forget what it was, but something is making me think that perhaps he'll tie the record against the Sharks on the 15th and then break it on the 22nd against the Panthers. And as I said earlier, Sharks is 41. He could get his 41st goal of the season against them. San Jose Sharks is also 42, which makes me think that maybe he would break their record, maybe tie and or break their record against them as well. Remember the 181's the 42nd prime, just like the N word, unfortunately. And sorry, didn't mean to bring that back up. I was going back to there. I remember a couple of years ago the Sharks announced Mike Greer as their new general manager 181 days after his birthday. Not a coincidence. There was something that I'm not remembering now. There was a connection with Florida that I just can't remember. I do want to see how many days after. Um, it is a span of 56 days after Gretzky's birthday. And yeah, 7 weeks and 6 days. Yes, here we go. Span of 56 days, 7 weeks, 6 days. Washington Capitals, 76. His only Stanley Cup victory came on the 7th of June, 7/6. And how many days after is this? So that's 117. So it is 48 days. The March 15th date is 48 days after Gretzky's birthday. And hold on, just have to keep forgetting to press enter. What was I looking at? No, sorry, that wasn't it. So I thought there was a 48 in there, but was it? Let's write these out. Florida Panthers is also 76. To go along with the whoops. That would make sense. 7 weeks and 6 days after. That's I think that's the connection that I was looking for. 7 weeks and 6 days after Gretzky's birthday against the Florida Panthers, which equals 76. That would make a lot of sense. 124, 1 month and 24 days. Florida equals 124. Yeah, maybe he'll score his 42nd and 43rd goal of the season. Is that game? Where is that game? It's in DC. So that's the 80. I want to say it's the 81st day of the year. Yeah, 81st day of the year. That could be it. That could be it. 107. There was also a thing. Alex Ovechkin. There's this weird thing that happened with like Alex Ovechkin wasn't quite eligible to be drafted in 2003. Because he was born like 2 days after the cutoff date. But apparently the Florida Panthers tried to draft him or something. Yeah, they attempted to draft him. That would be funny. That would be kind of a coming full circle thing. They like to do that with these scripts. Attempted to draft him in 4 different rounds. Now, who knows if he probably didn't actually do that because it was already Alex Ovechkin was destined to be a Capital from the day he was born. So I don't think the Florida general manager really attempted to do that, but I think they just had to put that out there just to get clicks. And remember also, yeah, Alex Ovechkin's favorite team was the Sharks growing up. Yeah, he's had a. Oh no, he didn't have a. Okay, I couldn't remember what it was, but Owen Nolan, his favorite player. Owen Nolan wore number 11. Ovechkin's first ever goal in the NHL made the score 1-1. And then 31 is the 11th prime. At age 31, he actually admitted, yeah, here at age 31, he admitted that his favorite team was the Sharks. And Ulf Dahlin was played for the Sharks and the Capitals in his career. So how many more does he need? He needs 20, 27 to break, 26 to tie. So, as I said, if I had to make one prediction right now, I would say like it's kind of dependent on how long he's out with injury, but if he's not out for super long, I would say he ties it on this date against the Sharks and then breaks Gretzky's record on this day against the Panthers. That's what I'll have to say. As that 41 has been a huge number in his not only in his career but in his life, and it makes sense to have that 179 connection. Panthers have that 76 connection, and with 70 no, was it 7 weeks and 6 days after Gretzky's birthday? Is that what it was? Yeah, 7 weeks and 6 days after Gretzky's birthday, when Washington Capitals is 76. And it'd be on 3/2/2 of all dates, when Skull and Bones is, I gotta pull that up again. Skull and Bones is 41, 179, the 41st prime, and he also got that 76 in there as well. And then Skull and Crossbones is 223. Yeah, and it's also 263. 56 prime, a span of 56 days after Gretzky's birthday. That might be it. That very well might be it. All right, no one's in the chat or anything. I guess while I'm live, I might as well talk about a couple other things. What was very funny. Let me go to my channel for a second. What was very funny is in this video.
As expected.
Oh, that was loud. Volume. I talked about, yeah, in Macklin Celebrini's first ever game, he scored a goal, and he barely even scored it. But they ended up losing 5-4. And yeah, 5 months and 4 days after the Sharks won the draft lottery, and 5 months and 4 days between the mayor's birthday, which was yesterday. And well, what do you know? Yesterday, on the mayor's birthday, Sharks won 5-4, 5 weeks and 4 days after Celebrini's debut, and Celebrini scored the game-winning goal. I mean, that's how they do it. Also, what's very funny is the Sharks and the Red Wings, even though they're in different conferences now, they actually have an extensive playoff history because they used to both be in the Western Conference. The first ever Sharks playoff game was against the Red Wings, and that first game was 5-4. And this, of course, was Celebrini's first ever game against the Red Wings as well. And that's a wild game. 3-0, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3, 4-4, 5-4. Wow, interesting. Yeah, 32 and 43. Those are also huge numbers with San Jose as well. Founded on the day, leaving 32 days left in the year, and San Jose equals 43. But yeah, anyways, yeah, yesterday was the day leaving 43 days left in the year. I know I mentioned it down here. San Jose is 43. Yeah, there it is. San Jose 43. Yep, Society of Jesus 191, the 43rd prime. They're both abbreviated as SJ. I'm gonna go. I'll be back there in a couple weeks, or actually less than a couple weeks, in just over a week, and I'll probably do. I'll be there on just to show you here. Or San Jose's founding date is November 29th, the day leaving 32 days left in the year, 32 sun rays on the Jesuit logo. Now, I will be there on that date, so I might make a short or something like that. And another thing is, let's see if we can, yeah. So that when you're in San Jose, you look up into the mountains and you see Mount Hamilton, the observatory here. But what a lot of people don't know is that the tallest mountain on that peak is not actually Mount Hamilton, it's called Mount Copernicus. And Copernicus is interesting because Nicholas Copernicus, obviously the mountain is named after, was the guy he was like the first guy that said we live in a heliocentric model. And heliocentrism, heliocentrism 201. There we go. And of course, the Sharks' main star, who I was just talking about, Celebrini, scored the goal last night. Eklund also scored. But yeah, Celebrini is born on June 13th, the day leaving 201 days left in the year. And then you've got Mount Copernicus looking over San Jose. Mount Copernicus is the first guy who really developed the heliocentric model, and heliocentrism is 201. And also, he's Polish, and the Sharks' current head coach is Ryan Morsovsky, which is a Polish last name because that's referencing Warsaw, the capital of Poland. I think we're only scratching the surface, but we still know a lot. And I also am in the process of making a video. I'm going to switch screens here if I can. Nope, that's not what. There, okay. I am in the process of making another video. I've written the script, I've recorded my voice. So I just need to do the editing, which will take a while. This is, as you can see, this is about kind of all those Illuminati, Japan, Pearl Harbor baseball connections that I was talking about. As you can see, it's over 3 pages long, so it'll be probably at least a 15-minute video, maybe more. So it'll take a while to edit. All right, I don't think I have anything else to say, but just to. Oh, and also, I guess I should point out one more thing. Hold on. At the beginning of this hockey season, about a month ago, I talked about the parallels between the Capitals and the Sharks and how there's like this 17-year cycle or 17-year copy, whatever you want to say. Um, the 17 years ago, I talked about the parallels between Bruce Boudreau um, and Ryan Warsofsky in a live stream, I think last month. And I talked about the parallels between the 07-08 Capitals season and this current Sharks season. Well, if you look at this, the Capitals started at year 6-14-1, so that's after 21 games. If we look at the Sharks record right now, they've played 20 games. They're 6-10-4. So that's the same amount. They have the same amount of wins, and if the Sharks lose their next game, they'll have the same amount of wins and losses. A couple more overtime losses, but still, I talked about the similarities, and they're already off to a very similar start. Will the Sharks turn it around and surprise everyone and somehow squeak into the playoffs? That's still yet to be determined, but it's very interesting. So just to reiterate before I go to bed here, we're looking at March 15th and March 22nd as the potential days when Ovechkin could tie and or break Wayne Gretzky's NHL goal record, because 15th is 179 days after his birthday, the 22nd is 179 days before his birthday, when 179 and 41 have been huge numbers in his career and his life. And the latter one, the game against the Panthers on the 22nd, is 7 weeks and 6 days after Wayne Gretzky's birthday, when Florida Panthers equals 76. And Washington Capitals also equals 76. And he could get his 42nd goal this season when Ovechkin equals 42. Shimer, what state is Florida in order of statehood? It is the 27th state. Don't know if that really means. I don't think we were one of the three in here or anything. Oh, no, I don't see that. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if that. I'm probably looking too much into it, but we shall see. All right, sorry, this is kind of a long stream. It went longer than I wanted to, but I ended up talking about some things that were a bit off topic, but I'm glad I got this out of the way. Catch you all later.